Hey guys, Mr. here again for another video today, and we are back with our Houston Vikings franchise mode. And I'm kind of upset right now because I just recorded about a 25-minute video. What was supposed to be episode 35, which I believe this one is 35 or 36, I do not remember. So yeah, this is the second time I'm recording this one, but instead of just re-recording the last one, I'm going to explain everything that happened in the last one because I really cannot be bothered to record everything or record that last episode again because we did so much. Starting off, we made some trades, so I'm going to show you guys the trades that we made because they were some big ones, and it's going to help us out for the future though. So starting off, let's go to see what the first trade is. So as you can see, Minnesota acquired defenseman Jacob Slavin, center Andre Burakovsky, and right wing Alex DeBrincat from Houston in exchange for a 2023 first round pick and a 2023 third round pick from Minnesota. So I'll show you guys that value or the value of those picks, and I will also explain why I made that trade in just a second. Actually, you know what? We'll do that one first. So we'll start off with Minnesota. Now, the reason why I traded to Minnesota, especially those three big players, is because Minnesota is not a great team, and making those trades are in hopes of being able to acquire some better draft picks and hopefully some higher overall picks as well, like in the top 5. So their team was looking like Granlund, Eriksson Ek, then Zucker, Brassard, Smith, Parise, Shahan, Connolly, Helm, Lazar. Really not a great team. So we made their offense a little bit better by adding Burakovsky and DeBrincat, which is pretty good for them. Defensively, they didn't have Jacob Slavin. So in the NHL, they had DeHaan, Weirkoch, Dahlstrom, Conklin, Winehandle, and Rokan. 267 overall defensemen were playing in the NHL. So we made their defense a little bit better as well, which is fine. But one thing that we did not make better is their goaltending. Their starter is Devin Dubnyk right now, who's only 80 overall, and Kaapo Kähkönen, who is 76 overall as the backup. So not a great goaltending situation over there in Minnesota. And draft picks, they do not have their first, and their first is basically as valuable. I wonder if you guys heard those sirens. Holy frig, I'm trying to record a video. So yeah, so their first in 2023 is as valuable as their first next year in 2024. Same thing for their third. So if I show you guys the value of that trade, I guess you'll see Minnesota, Houston, they have the same value, and we'll hopefully be able to make good choices with those draft picks, and we'll see how well they turn out to be. Now, let's go back to the message center, and I will show you guys what the second trade was. Let's go and show you that. I think it was the Columbus trade. No, sorry, the Columbus trade was the last one. So next we went to Anaheim. So we had 3 Western Conference trades, but hopefully it won't come back to bite us in the ass. So looking at what went to Anaheim. Anaheim acquired left wing Jake DeBrusk and defenseman Nathaniel Celios from Houston, who was a low elite defenseman, but he is not going to make it. I will show you guys. He will not make it. And then we acquired left wing Joey Buke, left wing Jeff Healy, and 2 others from Anaheim. I believe we just got draft picks from Anaheim, so we'll go and show you that trade right now as well. So the reason why I traded to Anaheim was because they had Joey Buke. Joey Buke looks like a pretty solid forward, who I'll show you guys in just a second. Let's see, we got to find him really quickly. There he is. All right, so Joey Buke, 76 overall, 21 years old, medium top 6 potential, is not bad. He was drafted in 2019 by the Philadelphia Flyers. He is a 4th liner right now, and like I said, he looks pretty solid so far. So we acquired him from Anaheim, and I believe we also acquired a second and third, or a third and a fourth in this year's draft. Actually, one second, let's see. We didn't acquire any picks from them this year, but yeah, we acquired their second and third next year. So Hopefully, those 2 picks will be, I mean, decent. They are listed as champions, so more than, or they were listed as champions. I don't know why they're listed as contenders now. They must have got an injury or something. So let's see. So I'll show you. Oh yeah, wait. Let's see where. Oh yeah, so DeBrusque and Celios. So if we just sort it by potential, low elite, Nathaniel Celios. So 62 overall, 21 years old, is not good at all. He was an undrafted prospect who we signed from free agency. He's not going to make the NHL. Probably ever. I highly doubt he will ever make it, so we traded him away. Basically just extra value in that trade. So hopefully, I mean, it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. Jake DeBrusque as well. Him and DeBrincat were both signed onto a 1-year, $3.8 million deal, and they were not supposed to be on the team. I sent them both to free agency in hopes for them to get offers upon them. Nobody offered them a contract, so they both came back to the team. But yeah, as you can see, DeBrusque now on Anaheim, DeBrincat in Minnesota. So the next trade, oh, and by the way, Jeff Healy, who was the other forward we traded for, was just a player with no value at all, and on an entry-level deal. And I think he was a low top 6. I think he's in the AHL lineup, so I'll show you guys that in a second. Our next trade was to Edmonton. So Edmonton acquiring goaltender Philip Grubauer. I was trying to say Philip Grubauer for some reason. So Edmonton acquired goaltender Philip Grubauer in exchange for Edwin Ferrelli, who's another goalie, a 2023 third-round pick, and a 2023 sixth-round pick from Edmonton. So let's go and see that trade, and I'll explain to you why I made that one as well. So Edmonton, they're a pretty solid team, obviously, as you would expect. Now let's go and show you why I made this trade. So they have Tuukka Rask, I believe, as their starter, believe it or not. I'm pretty sure it was this year. Yeah, so Tuukka Rask is their starter. They now have a backup in Philip Grubauer. They had a backup in Eddie Lack, but they just upgraded Philip Grubauer by 4 points. So, I mean, I think it's a pretty good trade for us as well because we got a really good player back as well in Edwin Ferrelli. Okay, now, when I traded for him, he was 23 years old, still 77 overall, and he had the same value as Sea-Doo. So he's definitely not going to make it, but he is our backup. And who knows, he could be a backup for us in the future. So he will be behind Luukkonen, who will hopefully make the team. I mean, I highly doubt it, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so Edwin Ferrelli, he was 77 overall at 23 years old, which still isn't bad. We'll see how he does this year in the NHL. Like I said, he will be our backup, but he did have more value than what he has now. So that definitely looks like a bad trade at this moment, but I don't think it will be. And then, like I said, we acquired their third from this year, which probably won't be good. And we didn't have a sixth-rounder this year, so we acquired a sixth-rounder from them as well. But, yeah, they're a champion team. I mean, I highly doubt we could get anything decent from them in that or in the standards of their draft picks. But who knows? Anything could happen. Now, the final and last trade that we made was to Columbus. So Columbus acquired defenseman Xavier Ouellet from Houston, and we acquired a 2023 third-round pick and a 2023 fourth-round pick from Columbus. So, I mean, you guys know Ouellet. He's 80 overall. He'd be tied for our second-best defenseman on the team, but we just got some draft picks from them. I'm pretty sure they're a contender or a champion team. I mean, it makes sense for them. They improved their defense because they didn't really have a great bottom two pair, so it definitely made their bottom pairing better. So they had Vainio and Forsling. Now they have Ouellet and Vainio in the NHL there. So hopefully that improves them. Maybe Ouellet could go on for a cup. Really, I mean, other than the Minnesota trade, DeBrusque has a chance to win a Stanley Cup, Grubauer has a chance to win a Stanley Cup, and Ouellet has a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Who knows? Burakovsky, DeBrincat, and Slavin, maybe they all stay in Minnesota, and Minnesota becomes a contending team, and then that's the biggest mistake of a trade I've ever made. Who knows? Anything could happen. Now, the draft picks we got from them aren't the greatest, but like I said, we'll just have to see if they hopefully fall off a little bit. So we got their third and we got their fourth. So now in this year's draft, we have the first from Minnesota, the first from us, then 3/3 from Columbus, Edmonton, and Minnesota, and then we have their fourth, our fourth, or Columbus's fourth, our fourth, our fifth, Edmonton's sixth, and Houston's ours seventh rounder. Then next year we have our first, Anaheim second and third, our fourth, our sixth, and our seventh. Sorry, we don't have our seventh, but yeah. I mean, we stocked up on some draft picks for this coming draft because we didn't have a single second. Well, we still don't, but we didn't have a third. We had our first. That was it. Then we had our fourth and our fifth and our seventh. So we only had 4 draft picks. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 draft picks. I think we might have came out on top in some of those trades, especially for some of the players that we brought in. Now, one more thing that I had to do, I had to sign 3 players. Let's see if I can I see it here? Signings, yes I can. All right, so let's go down to Houston. So Houston signed free agent defenseman Michael Del Zotto to a 1-year contract. We signed him to the max contract that we could. Same thing for Colton Sevier, and same thing for Ryan Callahan. And I mean, I don't think I showed you guys the lineups yet, so we'll show you the lineups. I'd kind of like to get through the entire season in this episode as well. Whether we will or not, I do not know, but we'll figure it out. So, in the NHL, here is the lineup. So we have Terry Yoshimura on the top line with Nico Hischier and Pekka Markkanen. Markkanen wasn't 85, but he was upset because we made some trades. Obviously, as you can tell, we'll see if he jumps back up. Then on that second line, we have Kapanen, Zadina, and Brown. Not a bad second line. Zadina definitely brings that second line up. We'll see how that goes there. On our third line, we have some rookies in the lineup. We have Sebastian Reese making his NHL debut, listed as a third liner. Scott Lund, obviously you guys know him, fourth liner. And then Curtis David, the medium franchise player who we just drafted first overall in the past draft. 81 overall already. We'll see how he does. Then on the fourth line, we have Joey Buick, who's listed as a fourth liner, the player we got from Anaheim. And then Colton Sevier, one of the players we signed. And then Barry Gibson, also listed as a third liner, but we're playing him on the fourth line, and he's getting plenty of ice time. I just want to give the ice time to Gibson, David, Reese, and Buick so they will start growing and make sure that I grow them properly. I mean, Reese may not get much better. He is 22, 79 overall, but he's still got that low elite potential. Buick should be decent for us. Gibson should be awesome. David should be awesome. We'll have to wait and see. Now, defensively, looking pretty rough on defense, but we have Jared McIsaac, who is 22 years old now. Drafted him 4th overall in the second draft that we had in this series. Trent Trojanovic, medium top 4 offensive defenseman, 21 years old, 78 overall. He could be potentially decent for us, who knows. Yuri Korolev, the very good defensive defenseman, 22 years old, low elite potential. And Liljegren, obviously you guys know Liljegren, and Johansson, you know him, and Valimaki, you know him. And in net, we have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who will hopefully grow. I highly doubt it, but who knows. And then Edwin Ferrelli. So we'll see how they do in the net, I guess. Our depth players are Michael Del Zotto and Ryan Callahan. They will probably both complain about ice time because listed as a top 6 defenseman and listed as a 4th line forward. But let's go back to the lineup and we'll show you the AHL. So in the AHL, we have Clint Moses, Marco Vanainen. Now, the reason why we don't have Vanainen in the NHL is because he is listed as a depth forward. So we're going to keep him in the AHL for now. If he does jump up to a 4th or even 3rd liner, we will put him in the NHL, though. Then we have Ethan Parent as well. So that's a really good top line. Should be a very solid offensive line in general. I mean, we'll see how they do, though. On the second line, we have Nikolai Tikhonov, who is a low top 6, probably not going to make it. Then I'm going to go with Lassi Kontanen, the medium elite player who we drafted, 41st overall in the past draft. We'll see if he gets any better throughout this series than Johan Sjöström, who we drafted a few years ago as well. Then on the third line, we have Mikkelsen, not great. Norton, not great. And then Jeff Healy, who we acquired from Anaheim. He's just on his entry-level deal. Cheaper one as well. Low top 9 potential, so even worse than what I thought. Then we have Rene Broyet, Ivan Voloshenko, and Joachim Kalvosari. Now, Voloshenko, I do have another player that I could put in. Yeah, Gabriel McCollum. So we'll put McCollum in instead of whatever his name was. I already forget. Now, looking at our defense, we have a really good top 2. Robinson Jocelyn, who is actually listed as a minor top 2. He could probably make the NHL next year. We'll have to wait and see, though. And then Edgar Davison. So, defensive defenseman, low elite, but he is listed as a top 6 defenseman, which is kind of scary. I did mention in the last video, I guess, that he could be playing in the NHL if I want him to. That I think I would maybe trade Lucas Johansson away and then get Davison in the lineup, because if he's complaining about ice time, we will definitely make sure that that changes for him. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't know. On our second pair, we have Alan Craig, who is an undrafted medium elite player that we signed in free agency with Junior Stewart, medium top 6. Who knows how good he could get. I mean, 20 years old, 69 overall. With that potential isn't too bad. And on the bottom pair, we have Stephen Banting, medium top 4, and Markku Martikainen, a low elite 20-year-old defenseman as well. And in net, we have Radoslav Herbas, who is 21 years old, medium elite. We'll see if he gets any better. Not looking too good so far. And then Christopher Rankwitz, who was also an undrafted medium elite prospect that went to free agency. I have him in the lineup just because of his potential instead of Sebastian Sturm, who is one of our scratch players. And yeah, I mean, Voloshenko is there. Simpson is there. I mean, other than that, not too great. But I mean, I guess that is it. 17 minutes in. There's no way I am simming this whole season. But one more thing I do want to check, actually, is our captains and assistants, because I do not know who is who. I think Hischier should still be the captain. He is. Zadina an assistant. And they actually have David as an assistant now. I was thinking about going Zadina assistant, Hischier captain, and then Yoshimura assistant, or Markkinen assistant. But you know what? They have David on, or as the assistant. I think we'll keep him like that. I do not like number 52. I might change that, to be honest. 52. Can I change that? I can. Let's go to 21, because 21 is my favorite number. I did that for Isaac Leopold in the Winnipeg series, so we're going to do the same for David now, and we'll see how he does as an assistant. So yeah, I don't want him to lose any morale, so we'll just keep him as an assistant, because we do need to make sure we grow him properly. Now, I mean, I guess we'll go month by month in this sim. I also sim the, not the free agency, the preseason. We went 4-3-0, which isn't too bad. And before I start the sim, I forgot to check this. Let's go and check the draft class for the 2023, or is this? Yeah, 2023 entry draft. Oh my god, there's another franchise player. Holy shit. Oh my god. Ken Benson, another franchise player. He's already got 88 speed, 2-way forward, 85 body checking, 85 durability, 85 wrist shot accuracy, 85 puck control, 85 deking. So, Ken Benson is going to be on the radar. Then we've got Taylor Gabo. What a last name that one is. That one is sick. Ronnie Saray, Ernest Cantor, Rick Fata, Zach Crane, Marshall Sampson, Jake Romano, Yves Dupuis, Vic Hoyle, a medium franchise goaltender. Holy shit. This draft is gonna be something else. I'm so glad we got that Minnesota pick. We might have to make trades to get more. Actually, yeah, okay, we may have to make trades to get more first rounders. So Benson is in the WHL. All right, I'm gonna write that down. WHL forwards, and then Hoyle is in the United States, so he's already listed as a medium franchise, and I haven't scouted him yet. So USA goaltenders. Holy frig. The state of this series could be unreal in a couple of seasons. If we have 3 franchise players on our team, could you imagine? We have our franchise center, then we have a franchise right wing, and we have a franchise goalie. I mean, we need a goalie. There's no guarantee that any of our medium elite goaltenders right now will make it. Luukkonen, not looking too good. Herbass, not looking too good. And then Rankwitz, who knows if he'll make it. He has so much time. Oh my god, this series could be changing so much. This could be so interesting, man. I want to get to the draft as soon as possible. And Philip Zadina injured in the very first game of the season. Not good. Honestly, I'm not too worried about it. We're just going to put in Callahan. But, yeah, we're just going to put him in on that second line center spot. We'll keep him there. Shootout loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins in game number 1 of the regular season. So I started in the WHL, and I'm glad I did, but we're going goalies for 2 weeks in the U.S. really quickly. And once we're done that, I would like to see if he is still medium franchise, because if there's a medium franchise goalie, boys, I think we're going after him because we're going to need it, not going to lie. All right, though, let's go. Let's just lose games this year. Make sure we get a decent draft pick. So we are 0-5 technically on the season. Our first win comes against the Florida Panthers. All right, Zadina's lost morale because of ice time. Really? I'm going to have to edit that. I don't want him complaining about ice time, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm going to have to make sure that he doesn't. Wow, Calgary 7-0-1, off to a hot start for them. In our first 8 games, Curtis David has the most points with 6. Nashville, do you want to stop being so bad? I need to be worse than you guys, thanks. Okay, wait, Zadina, why are you losing morale? You're on the second line. How is he losing morale? He's on the second line power play. He's on the second line 4-man power play. He's on the penalty kill. He's on the penalty kill. There's no way. What? Why are you complaining about ice time? You should not be complaining about ice time in any way, shape, or form. You're on 4-on-4. Obviously not there, but you know. Luukkonen, 880 save percentage, and Ferrelli, 873 save percentage. I think Luukkonen might have been pulled in every game, to be honest. That's a bad sign. That's actually a really bad sign. Now, I did see Delzato complain about ice time, but honestly, I really don't care. I really don't, to be honest with you. We have him on a 1-year deal for a reason. David, he's not complaining about anything, so that's good. What did that say? What? Has game morale for coming in alternate. I was like, wait, what? Yoshimura, 2 points, not great. Definitely not great at all. Markkinen, 2 points. Hischier, 2 points. Wow, that top line is being very bad. That's for sure. Third line doing good. Fourth line not doing too bad either. Gibson has 6 points. Buke has 6 points. Reese had how many? Had 5. Lawton had 5. And then David has 6 as well. So, very interesting there. I mean, I could sim a little bit more, but yeah, you know what, screw it, we'll sim a little bit more. Let's make it to December. Yeah, let's go to December, because at that point, I think we can see who's going to be bad in the league, who we could possibly make a trade for to acquire their first round pick. And yeah, we'll got to make sure. We lost to Minnesota, which is okay, but next time we see Minnesota, I got to check their record, because I really hope they're going to be bad this year. Maybe Dubnyk was just on a bit of a morale crisis, but then again, he didn't have any value. Usually when players are in a morale crisis, they still have value. Now, I wonder if he is in a morale crisis or not. I really hope not. I hope he is regularly in 80 overall right now, because that could mean very good things for us. We're getting some wins, though, now, which is depressing, 6-9-3, although maybe it's just because it's early in the season. I really don't see this team doing that great at all, because we really aren't good. 8-1 loss over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Good job, Willett. Willett probably had like a 5-point night. Wouldn't even surprise me, to be honest. That's basically more points than he's gotten with us throughout his entire career. 8-4 loss to Vancouver, and we are in December, 6-13-4. And we're now just about 2 months away. Yeah, basically 2 months away from the deadline. We are in last in our division. Minnesota has 27 points. That's not good. They're doing a lot better than I expected for them to. That could be really bad. Let's see, who else is doing bad this year? Now, Minnesota, I really wish you'd stop being so good. Maybe they're just off to a hot start. I don't know. Winnipeg, top of the league, with Philadelphia as well. So we are in last. New Jersey and New York. San Jose, Florida, Anaheim's actually doing bad, of course. I couldn't get the first rounder from them, and they're doing bad as well. That's unfortunate. That is pretty sad, I'm not going to lie. So, 6-13-4. I mean, that's very not great at all, which means we could be pretty close to the bottom of the league, which would be nice. But once we get closer to the deadline, I'm going to at least try to make a trade. Probably at the end of this episode, honestly. I'm going to look to see what kind of trades I can make to acquire a first-round pick from some teams. And we'll see what we can get. Once we actually, you know what, I'm going to stop the sim right after editing this scouting assignment because I don't want to get too close, because that means the value of their picks could be higher and even harder to get, as Joey Buick is injured until the end of December. We'll just put in Ryan Callahan, right? Yeah, 77 overall. He hasn't changed. Delzado's still a 78. Alright, yeah, let's put Callahan in. Alright, not too bad. We'll stop the sim, like I said. Alright, 10-15-4. Probably still bottom of the division, that's for sure. Minnesota, 31 points. Alright, they're starting to slow down by the looks of it, which is needed, which is very good. Alright, yeah, let's go check the draft class. Do we still have 2 franchise players here? If we don't, I might be upset. I really want them. Benson, still a franchise. Hoyle, still a franchise. Alright, well, we're probably gonna be getting some franchise players this year, boys. I mean, Benson, 17 years old, 2-way forward, wouldn't be bad. Hoyle, medium franchise. We only scouted them once, so we're going to have to go back to the U.S. for goaltenders again, because I do want to make sure that we can scout him out to see if he actually will be a franchise player. But from what I've seen, any franchise player that you can actually see in the draft class is a franchise player. So we'll have to wait and see, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you all did enjoy this episode. Let me know what you thought about the trades that we made. And there could be more on the horizon. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.